Mining metrics aren't looking good. Bitcoin miners are basically earning all-time low returns. That's based on hash price, basically how much you're earning per terahash of Bitcoin mining power. It's not good. It's not good. Bitcoin mining is more difficult than it's ever been, roughly, and the earnings are lower than they've ever been for the same amount of work. It's kind of like the US dollar. You know, it's all inflated and you have so much less buying power. Well, Bitcoin miners are so much less effective at mining Bitcoins. But why? Because it's not inflation that's crushing Bitcoin miner returns. There's only 21 million BTC. We're gonna dig into this and more today. I'm Vosk here on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. If you hold Bitcoin, you like Bitcoin, you hate Bitcoin, or you mine Bitcoin, this video is probably for you. And if you hate Bitcoin, what are you doing? So Blockware whipped up this article and it's talking about how miner capitulation continues, but it's weird, right? And I'm not disputing what they're saying. I agree with what they're saying generally, but it's going to be like more small scale and not properly run mining operations, especially residential pleb type Bitcoin miners, right? Because we look at Bitcoin network, hash rate, and let's go out over 3 years. So over the last 3 years, right, the white line is going to be Bitcoin's price. And look at the previous cycle where it topped around $60,000 and the hash rate was at 165 million terahash a second. Since then, we've got a Bitcoin at a similar price and it's about 4 times as difficult to mine a Bitcoin. But this is where it gets crazier. There's half as many Bitcoins, right, mined per day because BTC is halved since then, which means it's effectively 8 times more difficult to mine the same amount of Bitcoin if I can do math. I can do math. We're on the heels of one of the biggest Bitcoin mining difficulty drops in recent history, right? This is the 3-year chart, but let's look at over the last year. This downtrend in Bitcoin mining difficulty is one of the biggest, but we're still not far away from all-time high difficulty. Now let's look at the miner revenue per terahash. So 2 things are happening here. It's just becoming more and more competitive to mine Bitcoin, and there's more powerful Bitcoin miners that are more efficient coming out every day in mass. We just saw the S21 XP announcement release, right? You essentially have 300 terahash a second for the power consumption of one S19. It is like putting 3 S19s into one miner, the S21 XP. That's insane density. I can take a mining farm that I have the electrical capacity, right, for just say 100 miners, and I could replace all of those 100 S19s with S21 XPs, right? And effectively have a 300 S19 mining farm at 1/3 of the electrical draw. I know that's kind of obvious math, but when you really visualize it, it starts to blow your mind, right? Okay, we'll replace a farm that has 1,000 miners, right? Now it's effectively 3,000 of those S19s deployed. S19s are dead and dying unless your electricity is near free. Hash price is below 5 cents, right? Difficulty's looking like it's gonna go down another 5% because remember, it adjusts actually every 2 weeks, even though the chart we looked at is kind of following its real-time projected decrease or increase there. If we break down the mining profitability by machine, this is where things, to be honest, get worse for the average miner. These prices are run at incredible electricity rates. In my opinion, you know, this is based for basically mining farm operators. So let's look at this. 61K Bitcoin is where these numbers were computed. This is very recent data. And we look at the S19J Pro shutoff, very popular miner, right? So that machine, you know, we're going to see a hash rate around 104 terahash second on those. So you can see based on the watts per terahash of energy efficiency, and you compare the different miner models, right? The S19J Pros are essentially 28 watts per terahash of, you know, mining power. It's like your miles per gallon in a car. The better MPG you have, the further you will go. And this is nothing like a car where V8 sounds awesome and you don't care. Okay, it's all about MPG in the mining game. But it's not all lower profitability in mining. Things like AI are absolutely changing what's possible, especially for graphics cards. And projects like io.net are looking to lead the charge, creating basically a GPU mining marketplace where you're able to rent out your unutilized compute power to power AI and other programs. There's an insane demand for this, and io.net is hoping to basically crowdsource a supercomputer, and you could get rewarded for that. Link out below. So the S21s have 17.5 watts per terahash of efficiency. They are significantly more efficient than the most popular of the predecessor mining series, which means that they can shut off or have a break-even price much lower, significantly lower. I mean, we're talking like a 50% lower break-even price than some of these predecessor miners. This is reflecting huge price drops in miners across the board, even current generation ones, right? We see the S21s dropping towards a 5K price. We see the S19K Pros going back under $2,000. And trust me, you can consistently find things like S19K Pros around $1,000 right now. And if you're ordering in mass, it's not hard to get S21s for $4,000. The M66S is a very impressive machine with 268 terahash a second. And I've loved my M60S that I got in to review. That miner has been absolutely rock solid for me ever since I deployed it. It's just been crushing it. You can see my M60S right here. My 1-day hash rate on this is 195 terahash a second. My S21s have picked up a bit of hash since I put them in immersion fluid and switched their firmware to the Brains OS. But I have the dev fee to account for as well, so really any of my potential gains there are probably being eaten up by the dev fee, but it gives me much more customization capabilities with my miners there in particular. Brains is reportedly mining at about 209 terahash a second, and the chips are at 67 degrees Celsius, and I'm pulling an efficiency of about 18.3, which is a little bit below the 17.5. And these miners are in our latest immersion mining deployment where we deployed a fog hashing C6. Make sure to check out that video here on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I've just absolutely loved fog hashing's immersion equipment. It's so cool, it's so easy, and it's truly changing the mining game. And I've just played around with it on the smaller scale. You look at the larger scale, and it's something we're considering for the next phase of our mining farm build out. But you look at all this data we've been looking at, you may say, Boss, why the hell would you want to build out more mining farms? That's a good question. So $26 million in emission in Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. It's still a lot. I mean, we've been around $30 million in daily emission for a while now. But I'm telling you, you turn around, every news article is like, oh, publicly traded farm just got 100 million in funding. Publicly traded other farm just got 160 million dollars in funding. Other publicly traded mining farm just inked a deal to build a $150 million facility or expand or quintuplet their freaking hash rate. It's crazy. We look at this S21 series, it is just wild to see. They've got the hydro miners coming in at over 300 terahash a second, 473 terahash a second on the XP version. They are producing immersion ready models that you can go straight into Dunktown. There's also the S21 Pro, which hasn't even hit the streets yet. This is just coming out basically right now, and then we have the S21 XP series coming out by the end of the year. And we're just really talking about Bitcoin mining here, right? There's all kinds of other miners out there for mining many different cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin, Ethereum Classic, Cardano, Nervo, Siacoin, Alpha, right? Of course, Caspa. So you can buy these things anywhere. I'm showing you Coin Mining Central. They're a supporter of the channel. We've got coupon code VoskCoin to help you save some coin. Right, but you go over to Bitmain's direct website, you're like, oh, I want an S21 Pro. I want the latest and greatest Bitcoin miner with 15 watts a terahash or 15 joules a terahash of Bitcoin mining efficiency. Sure, you can do that, right? But let me show you Coin Mining Central's price. And this wasn't scripted. I just pulled up their site. The key thing here is resellers are consistently beating manufacturers in this era of the mining market. So for 5,700 before you save with our coupon code, you can get the S21 Pro, or you can go to Bitmain and get the exact same thing for $6,300. Okay, so that's a worse price. And you are absolutely paying tariffs on everything you get from Bitmain. So you can slap another 25-30% on there by the time you have, you know, shipping and tariffs and everything accounted for on these devices. It's been the wrong move to just not order through resellers in recent history. And I'm not just saying that because, oh, Vosk, you're an affiliate, you just want an affiliate sale. I mean, dude, you do whatever you want to do. You can pay more over there, you can pay less over here for the same thing. It's your choice. Okay, I just want the VoskCoin subscribers to win, and I've ordered more miners in the last year than I have the last 6 previous years combined. And I've spent a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of effort and a lot of just resources to order from so many different manufacturers, so many different resellers, and to be able to truly compare these experiences in real time, like right now. Who's the best? Who's the worst? Why? Looking at the numbers though, I mean, why would I even be building a mining farm? Well, I'm working towards 3-phase. My electricity rate will go down further when I get to 3-phase. It will become more viable. I've got solar power as the hopeful end game, and I just truly believe in this stuff. But I am seriously focusing much more on altcoin mining based on my electricity rates, which right now are between 8.5 to 10 cents per kilowatt hour. And you know, eventually when I get to 3-phase, I will hopefully be around 7 cents per kilowatt hour. But even at those electrical rates, right, I'm losing to major mining farms that have rates between 2 and 7%, you know, all day. It's a competitive game, but I love this stuff. I believe in this stuff. I do as much as I possibly can to make this just a more viable operation. And you know, with the VoskCoin content creation, I live in this sector all day, every day. So I like to think and hope that I have a good pulse on it and make the best decisions, you know, in real time that I possibly can, and turn around and share it here with you guys as well. It's I've always, you know, kept my playbook as kind of an open book here. It's sort of like one of the key selling points of the VoskCoin channel. So if you like this at all, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and I will see you, why do I keep pointing with my pinky lately? It looks weird. You on the VoskCoin, you know, you on the next video. Hey, 10 seconds of tails. I never forget. That's our CBO, our Chief Bitcoin Officer.